The Cavs have found a hidden gem. Some big news coming out of Summer League and an article, rather intriguing article, about the future of the Cleveland Cavaliers when it comes to their young talent on the squad. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Cavs Digest. I'm your host for today, Darayus Sethna. Before we get into today's video, just want to remind you to like this video and subscribe to the Cavs YouTube channel right here on Cavs Digest. We've been getting comments throughout the offseason. Love hearing your guys' input. Love hearing the fact that you want your voices to be heard. We appreciate that. We want that to keep going and growing here on the Cavs Digest channel. So make sure you like and subscribe. Let's get into today's video. This is going to be a quick video today, but over the weekend, I saw an article here. This is from an article, it's for a blog site called Fear the Sword. This has been a blog site that covers everything Cleveland Cavaliers, from analysis to rumors to updates, and they've been around for a few years now, and their information is pretty accurate. And sometimes when I'm doing research on topics I want to talk about, I'll come to this Fear the Sword blog to see what news or what might be popping, especially during the off season. And I found this article here on Summer League breakout star for the Cavs, Naquan Tomlin, native of New York City, was a pretty quality college basketball player. We'll get into that in a little bit. Signed a 2-way contract with the Cavs last season back in February, and has really just been a bright spark when it comes to the younger pieces on this Cavs team. And this article really popped out to me because it talked about, with some of the changes the Cavs have made in the offseason, how might that impact Naquan Tomlin getting minutes in head coach Kenny Atkinson's rotation. So a little bit more specifics on what might be going on here. So I've mentioned his name a couple of times. Chris Fedor of Cleveland.com. He's the primary Cavs beat reporter for Cleveland.com. Covers them all year long, off-season, regular season, no matter what time of the year it is. So according to this recent article that Fedor posted, the Cavaliers believe that Tomlin could get consideration for regular season rotational minutes. So within the article, Fedor discusses that Naquan Tomlin continues to turn heads. The organization believes in Tomlin, and he may get consideration for regular season rotation minutes. So to me, those are some pretty encouraging signs, and Naquan Tomlin once again had a standout summer league, just continuing to show his growth. Really is, what I talked about DeAndre Hunter a couple weeks ago, last week, whenever it was. I talked about his ability to be a scorer and a quality rebounder. Naquan Tomlin is kind of that same build. Someone who can get to the basket at will, is still working on his perimeter game a little bit, but has the length and the strength to get to the basket. And then also, with his long arms, is a great rebounder, especially on offense. So going into that a little bit more specifically when it comes to Naquan Tomlin, in this past summer league, he played in 5 games, averaged about 26 minutes per game. So some good chunk of playing time for him in Las Vegas this summer. Averaged about 19.6 points per game, 8.2 rebounds per game. So there I go, talking about the quality rebounding of Naquan Tomlin. And then the assists as well, about 3 to 4 assists per game. And when I talked about the offensive glass, Tomlin averaged about 5 offensive rebounds per game in the summer league and about 6 3-point attempts per game. We shot overall about 33% from beyond the arc. And like I said, those are stats that are going to turn some heads, like Fedor talked about. This is a young man who, as I told you, is strong, has the length, and can do some damage. I think once he gets a consistent perimeter jump shot down, he could be a valuable asset, whether that's for the Cavs or whether that's for another organization. So I'm very excited to see what this development, specifically for Tomlin, continues to look like. He's definitely going to be playing a lot in the G League alongside, I would assume, Jalen Tyson. Amani Bates will probably still be there, and maybe some other up-and-comers. We'll see if Craig Porter still might find himself in the rotation in the G League team, depending on what the Cavs roster needs in terms of injuries and health and things like that. Going a little bit more into the article, though, one theme that I've talked about all summer long since I've been here with Cavs Digest is the depth of the Cavs. They're one of the deepest teams in the NBA, And it's going to be hard, let's face it, it's going to be hard for Naquan Tomlin to find minutes. And, in this article that from Fear the Sword talked about how the Cavs really aren't exactly lacking forward depth, right? You already have Dean Wade, you have DeAndre Hunter coming off the bench. Max Strus can kind of play that forward position. Obviously, Evan Mobley, Jarrett Allen. So the Cavs are pretty set when it comes to their big guns up front with the forward position. But at the same time, this, like we said, offseason's far from over. They could trade one of their forwards away, and one of those players could be fan favorite Dean Wade. Yeah, that's right. Dean Wade possibly on the trading block. There were rumors that we covered as well that the Dallas Mavericks are possibly interested in Dean Wade. That might be an interesting fit. I think they could certainly use a 3-and-D player who is big and is, like I said, a quality defender and rebounder, but there's still very much a possibility that Dean Wade remains in Cleveland for the 25-26 season. But if he happens to not be in Northeast Ohio moving forward, I think that's a great opportunity possibly for Tomlin to fill that role, because he kind of checks the boxes of what Dean Wade had, right? The rebounding, the shooting, the ability to play defense, kind of just that energy bunny off the bench. Kind of going into Tomlin's college career, he had a great career at Kansas State. Played at Kansas State and at Memphis, transferred to Memphis for the 2024 college season, 23-24. But at Kansas State, he really had his breakout moment of his career. He led Kansas State to the Elite Eight in 2023, averaged about 12.5 points per game, 2 blocks per game. So once again, we're talking about that defense with Naquan Tomlin, and then 1.5 steals per game as well. Then at Memphis, transferred there to play for head coach Penny Hardaway. Played at 21 games at Memphis, 11 starts for Tomlin, averaged about 14 points per game, 6 rebounds per game, and then here's the big one, shot 40% from three-point range. So what stands out to me here is that we know and we've seen Naquan Tomlin have, the evidence is there, the statistics are there of him having, quality shooting nights. He can shoot the basketball. Now for him, it's really just about developing that consistency, and obviously just transitioning from the college game to the NBA game is takes time for a lot of players. It's very rare that you see a player come from college and just master the NBA game like that, right? So I think it's just going to take time for Tomlin. But again, this is a really, really fascinating article just to look into a little bit here, because who knows what the Cavs could look like. They've already made some big changes to their bench. Lonzo Ball coming in, Sam Merrill's getting extended, Larry Nance Jr.'s coming back, and who knows, one of those guys gets nicked up for a few weeks here and there. There's an opportunity for Naquan Tomlin to come in and really, make his mark from an individual standpoint because of the different, elements that he brings to the court, the rebounding, the shooting, all the things like that. So I think the potential is certainly there, and that's why Cavs fans should be excited for what's to come. Whether he plays the majority of his time in the G League with the Cleveland Charge, or he spends a decent amount of time with the Cavs, this is certainly an opportunity I believe that Naquan Tomlin can take advantage of, and he did his job in Summer League. He has turned some heads, and he's put the Cavs in a great position. If you're Cleveland, this is the position you want to be in, right? You want to have too much talent in a sense, right? Especially too much young talent where you can, nurture them. They can grow, they can develop, they can, fit, they have more time to fit within your culture and your system. So this is really the perfect scenario for Kenny Atkinson and the Cavs moving forward. We'll see how Naquan Tomlin fits in, but I think he could be a big piece, especially if the Cavs suffer some injuries early on in the year, or really at any point in the season. So that really concludes my video about Naquan Tomlin. Like I said, Cavs fans should be excited about this. And I know it's, the summer, there's not really a lot going on, but this was a big year for Naquan Tomlin in the Summer League, and I certainly think that it will change the way the Cavs think about their young talent moving forward. But what are your thoughts on Naquan Tomlin? How much should he be playing with the Cavs? What will he look like in the G League? Are you convinced that he will be a quality NBA player in years to come? Let me know in the comments below, and make sure you like this video and subscribe to the Cavs Digest YouTube channel. Until next time, I'll see you here on Cavs Digest. Thanks for tuning in, everyone.